5, and definitely not the idea of working for someone else's dream. And I started to feel like I was being put into a box. And so one evening, my parents, who were top leaders in Nu Skin at the time, were heading to a meeting and invited me to come along. And the truth of the matter is, I had absolutely no interest in going to a meeting, but it was in Miami, and I kind of liked the idea of going and practicing my Spanish. And so I went and just said, it's Miami, you know, everything fun happens in Miami. But I will tell you that as I sat in the audience and I listened to all the different people share their stories and talk about how Nu Skin products had changed their life and how the business had impacted them, I became inspired. And I had that light bulb moment that I know all of you have had at one point, and it was the moment that really spoke to me. And I looked at it and I said, I could see myself doing this. I had always thought of myself as an entrepreneur, as a boss babe. That's my boss babe code, by the way. As a boss babe long before the word existed. And I left that meeting very inspired, and I came home and I said to my parents very confidently, I decided what I want to do for my life's career. I want to be a Nu Skin distributor. And with that, that was it. My decision was made, and very quickly after that, oh, by the way, that was a photo of me at that meeting. I put Nu Skin on my graduation cap and never looked back. That's how clear my vision was. And then shortly after, there was a Nu Skin convention. I was 2 weeks old. There's a photo of me and Blake. Where's Blake? We've not aged a bit, right, Blake? Thanks to Nu Skin, of course. But how many people are here for your first convention? Let me just see. Okay, first of all, congratulations to all of you for believing in your dreams and committing to be here. Leaders are born at events. That is like something we have always heard and is so true. Leaders are born at events. This is your time. So I will admit, though, that at my first convention, I kind of looked around and I had a little bit of a concern. It was a smaller event, smaller convention, and it appeared that there were a lot of businessmen in suits, so I wasn't feeling like I looked like everybody else. And because I was 22 years old at the time, everyone seemed very old in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, which of course, yeah, you can imagine that makes me feel now that I'm in my 50s, but I was okay. But I did start to doubt myself, and I started to think to myself, is anyone going to take me seriously? As a young woman with no business experience, how is that going to be? Has anybody here ever doubted yourself, right? You think, I'm not young enough, or old enough, or smart enough, or funny enough, or influential enough, or I can't present, or we all have these doubts in our minds, I believe. I think it's just natural. The key, of course, is not to let our doubts override our desires, right? Our desires, our vision has to be stronger. And fortunately for me, it was. And after this convention, my parents asked me a question that really forced me to think about how I was going to turn my vision into reality. They said, we're so excited that you're so excited, but who are you planning on talking to? Because all of our friends and family already know about the business. So I went back to something that I had learned at convention about focusing on your strengths, not your weaknesses. And I loved what was shared yesterday, which is even bigger than that, like double down on your strengths. And so I went back and kind of thought, well, I'm really good at connecting with people. I love people. I'm really good at making, small talk with strangers. And I'm really good at turning strangers into friends. So I'll just go out there and start talking to people, since talking is clearly what I do best. So with that, I developed my whole walking and talking. Now, I don't know how many of you have heard about my walking and talking. It's kind of what I did to initially build the business. I would go into New York City where there were unlimited amounts of people to talk to. And I would kind of put on a little business suit, and I would look for people who had a bit of a vibe, mostly just a positive energy, look friendly, kind of had that, you smile, they smile back, whatever. But I was looking for an energy, you can feel that. And I would walk up to strangers and say, "Excuse me, can I ask you a crazy question?" And for those that said yes, I would say, "Would you consider yourself to be an open-minded business person?" And again, if they said yes, I'd say, "Because I'm expanding a business in the area and I'm looking to connect with people, and I would love to introduce you to my amazing products and a way to supplement your income. Do you have a business card?" And I wonder sometimes, like if it was that I spoke really fast. I did that normally a lot faster, but I tried to slow it down for translations. But I would talk really fast, and people would feel my energy, and they would give me their business card. And then I would immediately call them the next day and follow up and kind of weed out the ones that were just curious from the ones that were really interested. But I did this with confidence and belief. And my belief, of course, came from the fact that I was passionate about our products. I believe so much in the company. And when you come to events like this, it helps you develop your belief and your confidence in yourself. And I learned very quickly that it wasn't so much what I said verbatim, because people always say, "What exactly did you say?" And I always say it's not so much what you say, but it's how you say it. And I would set goals for myself. And I would, every single day I would say, "I'm not coming home until I spoke to 30 people," or whatever the number was. Like I always recommend to people, set a goal. How many people you're going to reach out to, how many people you're going to friend, how many phone calls you're going to make to schedule parties. However it is that you build the business, the goals are so important. And at the same time, there's a lot of rejection involved. So I was rejected a lot. In fact, I can stand up here and say, I am perhaps one of the most rejected people you have ever seen before, but that's okay, because along with all of the no's came a lot of yeses. And it's really all the numbers game. It's really just a part of the business. Not one leader in this room, presidential director, is going to say, "Yeah, everybody said yes to me." It just doesn't happen. And I became a blue diamond at the age of 24, and a team lead, or what we call a presidential director today, at 25. Thank you. And I will say the ironic thing is that when I did this, when I would come to events like this, the amount of businessmen in suits, which was of course my stereotype for success at that young age, would come up to me and say, "Wow, it must be really great to do this business as a young woman." And I would laugh to myself and just think, you know what, we all do it, all of us. The grass is always greener on the other side. We always think someone else has it easier, and it's not. We all have strengths. We all have to find those strengths and truly just focus on them. So, one other major perk in my walking and talking is I met my husband while walking and talking. And let's just say, he could not give me his card fast enough. Yes, that was a major, major perk. But I will tell you, for his sake, it has not always been so easy being married to a walker and talker. It definitely has its moments. I would always do all sorts of crazy things. So when we first got married and I would book us on flights, I would always book us in 2 separate seats so I could double up on the amount of people I could meet. And whenever we would get into taxis in New York City, and this is no joke, I would walk into the taxi, and whoever was getting out of the taxi, I would say, excuse me, do you believe in fate? And they would just kind of look at me and I'd say, because I'd like to believe with all the taxis that I could be getting into and you could be getting out of, that there's a reason we're meeting right now, and I happen to be expanding a business in the area, and I would go, boo, and then say, do you have a business partner? Let's connect. Of course, today I just say, oh, it's social media, let's connect there. So, it is all around us. And I was laughing yesterday at the elevator pitch story because truly, every time we would go to a hotel, I would always ask to stay on the highest floor, not truthfully so much because of the view. It was just so that I can meet that many more people in the elevator going down and going up, right? So develop a power line and learn it. I just heard Blake's power line. That was amazing. You delivered a power line on stage about helping people, and you want to learn about changing lives and a business. I mean, that was beautiful. We need Blake's just like one of us. So it was pretty amazing. And I will tell you, many of our evenings with my husband would begin with something like this. Honey, could we please just have a night with no prospecting tonight, no strangers, just me and you? Can anybody else relate to that? Okay, so who are my walker and talkers? Who are the people that love recruiting, prospecting, talking about our products and our business wherever you go? Love it. Now, I realize that straight out walking and talking may not be for everyone, but certainly connecting with people and making small talk and making friends wherever you go, whether it's in Starbucks or in line at a bank or wherever you go, wherever you are, talking about weather or books or whatever the thing in common, it is a great way to open your doors to meet new people. And social media, to me, is the new walking and talking. There are literally unlimited amounts of people you can connect with and you can meet on social media. How many people are using social media just as a way of opening up your doors and of communication to new people, right? It's everywhere. And just remember this, though, at the end of the day, as you are sending out friend requests and joining groups and hashtagging photos, people are going to come to your social media platforms and they are going to check you out. And just remember, you are your brand. And once you post something, it is there. So just make sure it's congruent with how you want to represent yourself, your values, your integrity, because really and truly, people have to like you in order to want to do business with you and in order to want to try your products and buy from you. And I really just believe that for everyone, you just have to find that perfect balance between where high tech and high touch meet, and everyone's going to have a different combination the way you go about and build a business. Something else I learned right from the very beginning, which helped me immensely, and it has been talked about by a lot of speakers, was to start with the end in mind. To really be clear on your vision and what it is that you want your life to be, right? To know your why and have that in your memory. Some people do it with vision boards, because when you go through the ups and downs and you get the rejection and a lot of the songs that Blake referenced, and that happens, right? You need to be really connected to your why in order to get past that. And for me, my vision from the very beginning was always very clear. I wanted to be a wife, a mom, and a businesswoman. And I never wanted to have to choose between the mom and the businesswoman part. I really wanted it all. And I found that thanks to the flexibility that Nu Skin offers, we really do have that opportunity. I was able to build this business and set up appointments to show people products and talk about my business in between carpooling and nap hours and scheduling these appointments in between games and recitals. And I left Monaco early because my son was being recognized in lacrosse and it was so meaningful for me to be there. And my son Cameron surprised me and flew in at midnight. I'm so happy just because he wanted to support me. And my sisters came and my husband. It's like family is what drives me, and I knew that, and I always, how many of you, is family just your reason why you're doing this, right? It's everything. And it really is. So thanks to that message. So this is hard work, guys. This is a business, just like any other business, but it's a business that you do it on your terms, and you can go as fast or as slow as you want, but the flexibility is just something that is truly a gift. So people always ask me, how do I stay so motivated, and why am I so much in the trenches in the capacity that I am now, 31 years after joining Nu Skin? And honestly, it's not that difficult. When you love what you do, when you are passionate about what you do, it draws you in. You want to do it. And I have always felt that about Nu Skin, that it's just what I want to do. And I will say that Sandy's hashtag motivated by love really speaks to me. And I actually think it says it best. And it's when great things happen when we are focused on helping others. And knowing that I am able to play even just a small part in changing someone's life and giving them, showing them the products and the vehicle. And knowing that and I'm able to teach them the skills to teach others and pay it forward. And we talk a lot about legacy. Long after we're gone, the people that we have touched and helped with this business, and the people they have helped, and the teams and the customers and everything that grows, that's going to go on long after we are here. And it's so much more than just the impact in our lives and in those of our teams and our customers. Through the Force for Good and Nourish the Children initiative, we're change makers around the world. And I was able to really see this and experience it firsthand when my husband Mitchell and my daughter Jessica and I have the good fortune of going to Malawi and truly seeing the difference we are making. It is incredible, and yet there is so much work, more work that we can be doing. Can you imagine just like looking around in this room, if every single person decided to become, and I love the new terminology, a friend, a Nourish the Children friend, or you went to the giving machine, and more importantly, incorporated that in every time you brought someone into the business, the impact that we could have around the world. Together, we are so much greater than the sum of our parts. I am truly so incredibly proud of the Nu Skin culture that we are all a part of. From our visionary management team that I'm looking at right now, to all of our inspiring leaders, to everyone in the Nu Skin family, when like-minded, like-hearted people come together, anything is possible. Now let's keep making magic together and changing more lives around the world. Thank you.
Please welcome to the